Hey y'all. Let's see. Hey y'all. Hello. For those of you guys who do not know me, I am Mimi, Shaman Mimi the Most. And we're just gonna wait for a couple more people to come in before we get started. Listen, this live is if you believe you are a spiritual healer, spiritual teacher, a shaman, and you just haven't yet tapped into it, found a teacher, don't know much about it, or whatever the case is. So yeah, this is me. Hello, the Real Herbalist 1920. Hello, nice to meet you. So I'm here to answer all your questions. I'm here to tell you a little bit about my spiritual journey. I'm here to share any information which I have that can support you or whatever. I do run a shaman apprenticeship program. That's starting here in the spring. And so if you feel called after this live to apply, feel free to apply. I do connect to my ancestors before accepting the person. So that's a whole process there. But if you feel called to apply afterwards, feel free and allow your ancestors to lead you. So I'm from Haitian origin. And so I have a Haitian background, and I come from a long line of healers. And in my culture, it's not really called a healer. You're either called a medicine woman, a voodoo priest, a voodoo priestess, whatever. But but yeah, I come from a long line of them. And believe me when I tell you, what? Okay, whatever. But believe me when I tell you that how I didn't want to do this work. I did not want to do this work. I had no desire to do this work. I ran from this work. I was in corporate. I was out here. I was just like, listen, I'm getting to the money. Hey, because a girl like me likes some money. I'm a Gemini. I like nice things. Okay. And I didn't want to do this work. So I fought this work for my entire life, to be honest with you. I did everything else but this healing work. And believe it or not, after a while, it caught up with me. Because what happens is that if you're called to be a healer, a teacher, or whatever, it's going to keep calling you. That call is going to keep calling you. Thanks, boo. That call is going to keep calling you, because what happens is that this call is for you specifically. Before we came down here to earth, we all signed a contract, a spiritual contract, a sacred contract, whatever you want to call it. We all signed a contract saying, I'm going to come to earth and I'm going to do boom, boom, boom. I'm going to help awaken the populations. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Whatever your contract is, it's specific to you. And so once you figure out what that contract is, that's also your call. And so what happens is that we all have these spiritual gifts. And your spiritual gifts, well, for me, I found that I knew mine since I was a baby, since I was young or whatever. People would like always come to my mom and say, oh my gosh, there's something over this kid, whatever the case is. But like I was always intuitive. I was always giving messages. I was always supporting other people. But it wasn't until like I got really in my 20s that I started saying, this gift is it. This is real for me. Anyway, so after I started following my gift, I realized that, all right, this is something that is calling me, and it keeps calling me. I came from corporate. I did everything. And once you continue to hear that call and you do not answer, after a while, that call stops. And I always encourage people, you do not want to get to that place where that call stops, because once you get to that place in which that call stops, it's like you are stuck in a place of being half asleep, half awake. When I say sleep, it's like you're not awakened to your spiritual power. And so that can be kind of alarming. But anyway, I'm here to answer your questions and share some signs in which you may come to realize within yourself that makes you identify that you're a shaman. as I said, even though I came from a long family of healers and teachers, I didn't necessarily identify with the work because I'm Americanized. I'm Americanized, and I wanted to do things to follow my own personal dreams, and not realizing that how it wasn't until I started following this call, this dream, and awakening to my spiritual power, that how I actually started following all the other dreams in which I had. They started manifesting in my life. So here are a few signs in which you may or may not have experienced to let you know that you're a shaman. Shamans experience intense dreams, really intense and vivid dreams. I'm talking about these dreams are so intense. You can see and feel anything and everything, and like it can feel uncomfortable. And sometimes the dreams are really dark. Like is you can see dark things happening in the spirit realm, dark things happening dark things happening to people in your life, like really dark. And so that's the first sign. Shamans experience really deep and intense dreams. Also animals could be attracted to you or whatever. And so shamans have a real connection with nature, with anything in nature, animals, trees, birds, anything in nature. Instinctively, they are always attracted to you. If you are walking down the street and somebody and you find that everybody just keeps staring at you intensely, chances are that like you are vibrating at a higher vibration or whatever, which are typically star seeds, shamans, people who are angels but in regular people form. And so that's letting you know that there is something different about you. And so also another thing in which is not discussed a lot, and I had to find this out on my journey, is that if you have epilepsy, epilepsy makes you a channel, like a clear channel with spirit. And so I was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 13. I couldn't understand how or where it came from because nobody in my life ever had epilepsy. But that makes you like a direct channel. So when I say a channel, that means that spirits can jump into you and give you messages for other people. Like with me, I communicate with live spirits, dead spirits, or whatever, in order to pass on messages. And so if you have epilepsy, that is a clear sign of being a shaman. And so also with my epilepsy, no doctor has ever been able to diagnose it. Never, ever. No doctor has ever been able to actually diagnose it. And so I was taking medication from the time I was 13, and not realizing that was trying to suppress the part of my brain that allows me to connect with spirit. And yeah, what else? Deeply connected to nature. You also have flashes. I used to have flashes. It'd be like that's so Raven moments. It was like like I could just look at someone and I would have a flash of something in which they're experiencing either in their life or something they experienced in another lifetime, past life, and I would feel called to tell them, and I would tell them this, and then once I would tell them this, they'd feel like shocked and surprised and like, oh my gosh, how do you know this? I don't even know you. It was hard because I come from New York City, and could you imagine walking down the street and having flashes of everyone and everything? I used to wear shades all the time because I'm like, no, thank you, spirit. I do not need to see everyone's business. And so I talk a lot about training your gift, because what happens is that it was overwhelming for me. It was really, really, really overwhelming to have all these gifts, have all these abilities, have all these things, and feeling as if I needed to tune it out or shut it down because like it can be intense. It can be very, very intense to have all these spiritual gifts and them operating all at the same time, and you're confused because you don't know what the fuck is going on. And so I had to learn how to train my gifts because it was draining me. I'm talking about I would go outside for an hour, 2 hours, and I feel like overly stimulated. I feel so tired. I feel drained. I would have to go back home immediately. And so that wasn't productive for me because I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to live my life. I'm gonna ask a question here, like, how many people have already identified their spiritual gifts or like feel they're a healer or are interested in like pursuing the healing path? share your comments, and we can, I'll be happy to answer those questions as well. Any questions you have about being a healer, going on your healing path, how do you start? I'll be happy to answer all those questions. Anyway, those flashes used to be so intense that I used to feel as if I was in that moment with that person. What else? What else? And also, if you're a shaman or a high master healer, not many people can read your energy, and so you can go to a shaman, you can go to like another healer, reader, whatever, and they probably either give you a general message or say, oh, I really don't have anything, I really don't see anything, because what happens is that your energy is so sacred that like somebody on your spiritual level or above are the only ones who can actually read that energy. What else? And in terms of spiritual gifts, I know that as of right now, because a whole bunch of people are going through their spiritual awakening, their shaman awakenings, or whatever it is, and it can feel confusing. And so I want you to know that you don't have to feel alone or confused, because there are a whole bunch of people out here who are here and ready to support you, and I'm one of them. Because what happens is I felt crazy a lot of the times. I felt like, what the fuck? Like everything was happening at once. I knew all this information. I was having these crazy dreams. And it was, and yeah. So somebody said, how do you start? I feel like I have so many and it drives me crazy. Yeah. Like you just really have to start with one. Start with identifying one gift, and also finding out with that one gift how you can like try to grow it and like practice it or whatever. I encourage people do workshops and trainings. Start learning your gifts. Start doing things that's going to help you to learn your gifts, because those gifts are a tool for you to use in this lifetime. And I only say a tool because those gifts are not your destiny. Those gifts are a tool for you to use to get where you're going. And so we all have been given these sacred gifts, but society does a good job at muting us to our power, muting us to who we truly are. And so as a result, now we just forget. We forget. Okay, someone said channeling is the strongest right now. Perfect. So now in your channeling, ask questions. Ask specific questions in which you'd like spirit to show you. Thank you very much. The person who said they love my earrings. Ask specific question like spirit. Ask a question like, am I going to get this job I applied for? And listen, because if you're a channeler, you can channel any message. You can channel any message whatsoever. Hold on one second. There's a lot of people on here who just are saying dumb shit, and I'm with the dumb shit, and I'm not addressing it. I'm not addressing anyone who's saying dumb shit, because at the end of the day, this is a high vibration live. You are either here because spirit sent you here. You're either here because you are actually looking to grow and train your gifts, learn about your spirituality. And so anyone who's saying dumb shit, fuck off. I'm not really with that energy tonight. And also I've made it a point not to go back and forth with anyone, because I have divine sacred energy, and I want to tell you guys that as a healer, as a teacher, as somebody of an elevated higher frequency, you cannot give everyone your energy. So even going back and forth with someone is giving someone your energy. Seriously. And so make it your business not to do that. Someone said, how can I tip into mine? Can you be more specific? Yeah. So anyway, so if you're a shaman, your path is not going to be like anyone else's. It's going to be confusing at times. It's going to be so confusing at times, even for yourself. Even if you have the most laid out plan and think, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to do that. And shit just doesn't work out the way you think it's going to work out, or like something totally out of the blue will show up. It's because you are being called to go deeper. Like shamans go deep within themselves, to the point that they know themselves better than anyone else. And so as a result, which is why they can speak into people's lives. I've literally one of my gifts is my throat, like in my throat, and that anything I speak, it will manifest. And so I had to learn to not go off on people, because I could literally curse somebody with my words. And so that's a process. That's a process, because as you're a shaman, you have to realize that you have the power of life and death. And so when I say death, it's not like physical death, but like spiritual death. All I have to do is tell somebody something offensive. Literally, their spirit will shut down. It will not work the same. And you'll start to see their life spiraling. But like, I didn't always know that. I was with somebody, and like the relationship didn't work out, and we broke up. And like, I started saying some mean things about him, and I kid you not, he checked himself into a mental hospital. I wasn't even saying them to him. I was just talking about it and saying it about him. And so I had to like call all of that energy back, and like apologize to spirit, apologize to him in the spirit, because you have to be really mindful of the energy in which you're putting out, because your karma as a shaman comes and finds you 10 times faster. I promise you, it will come and find you right here, right now, in this lifetime. And so, because you are such a clear channel, you are such a clear channel for people. When people see you, they'll feel like, oh my gosh, this person is amazing. This person is this person is that. However, when they cross you, they will not like the you that shows up, because as shamans, we hold both light and dark in the palm of our hands. And so as light as you guys are, like powerful and just exuberant and attract everyone, you also hold the power of darkness, of like really going left real quick. And so I own that, but you have to learn to own both sides of you, because if you, for a long time, I went through stages of people pleasing and trying to only be the positive aspects of myself. And that didn't work out too well, because what often happens is that you are constantly going to be tested. And so and anything I was telling anyone to do, that would come back into my life immediately. Which means, if I told somebody, hey, this person in whom you're with is not valuing you, you need to leave them, within 24 to 48 hours, I would have an exact situation where I would have to choose that. And so I have to be careful, because as somebody who's vibrating with high master energy, you are always going to be a clear mirror to other people. So I said, how can you tap into your gift? There are so many ways in which you can do that. First and foremost, I want to say, to tap into your gift, you first have to really sit with yourself. Spend some time alone. Spend some time getting to know yourself. Spend some time to just like connecting with yourself. I started with journaling because as I said, I've always been intuitive, and I just used to write down all the visions I was getting, all the visions. And like, I literally, in my house, I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of just visions, dreams and stuff. Because what happens is that if those dreams and stuff only stay up here, it begins to consume your mind, and you want to make sure that those dreams are not living up there. So like, I would just write them down, and then I'd be like, oh wait, this thing that just happened now, I actually had a vision about it 2 years ago, and I'll go back to my notebooks. And so that's one way in which you can begin to start tapping into your gifts. Also, ask your spirit guides and ancestors, show me my gifts. What are my gifts? And they will show you all of your spiritual gifts. Someone says, do I believe in God? Of course I believe in God. Of course, God, for me, God is the creator. That's it. Simple. However, I do believe that how we all have God-like powers within us. That's why in the Bible, which I don't quote often, but it does say that how we are made in God's image and likeness. And you have to believe that. You honestly have to believe that. Because what happens is that if you do not believe in a higher source, then what the hell are you doing this for? What are you doing this for? I honestly believe that, I personally believe that we all came down here with a vision, a gift, a plan, something in which we have to do in order to leave this place a better place. But what happens is that oftentimes, because of everything from capitalism to conditioning to our trauma, our stuff, we get wrapped up in the everyday stuff of life. Someone asked about LGBTQ. To be very honest and frank, we are all people. It doesn't matter if you're LGBTQ or like whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. We are all people. All people of one race who are here on a spiritual journey. What else? Someone says that I don't think I know what mine is. I feel like I'm losing it. Okay. Anytime anyone asks me about their actual spiritual gift, I encourage them to literally start praying and asking your ancestors, start praying and asking God to show you what your gifts are. That's how I got my gift. I'm telling you. Okay. I remember I was laid off from my job back I was in my 20s, and like I was laid off, and so I was home a lot, and I kept feeling like something was trying to come out of me, in terms of like, it was just feeling that I was supposed to be doing something. So I remember praying one night saying, God, just show me my gift. Just show me my gift. And like, I prayed that over and over again every night. And one night I had a dream. That how I was in a classroom, and in this classroom there was a whole bunch of people, and then the teacher called on me to speak. And so when the teacher called on me to speak, I opened up my mouth to speak, and a whole bunch of what I could only equate to as like packing peanuts, just like came out of my mouth. It came out of my mouth and flooded the whole classroom. And then after that, I woke up. I jumped up out of that dream, and I started speaking in light language. From that day on, I only spoke in light language. And so for me as a shaman, as I communicate with the spirits, I communicate in light language. And so I understand what I'm saying. The spirits understand what I'm saying, but other people around me don't understand what I'm saying, unless they have the gift of interpretation of light language. And so for those who don't understand what light language is, that's spirit language. I think in the church they call it speaking in tongues. So depending on what your practice is, some people call it other things. But yeah. What else? All right. So yes, any questions? Anyone who feels like they are being pulled in that direction, or like can like identify with like anything in which I just shared it. Because being on this path, it's not an easy path. I'm gonna be very honest and tell you, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And that's why for me, I needed support. I remember when I got to this place where like I no longer wanted to keep learning things on my own or learning things the hard way. And I remember saying, I'm tired of having to learn everything the hard way. I want support. And that's when my prayer changed, and I started asking for a teacher. Saying, God, send me to my teacher. I need my teacher. Someone who's going to help teach me how to take these gifts and like train them so that they're not like overextending me. I was overextending. When I tell you I was tired all the Christ time, I was freaking tired all the time. And I was just tired because I literally would stepping out of my door just to go to the grocery store felt like an energetic pull, because I would walk into the store and people would their energy would just start pulling on my energy because I was so spiritually sensitive. And so at the time I didn't know anything about having your spiritual guards up, having like in terms of protecting your energy or anything like that. And so that's when I started praying, God, show me a teacher. And I kid you not, the only thing I heard was buy a one-way ticket to Indonesia. And I was like, what? But I felt it was so strong. I kept having dreams about Indonesia, like every single night. I kept having dreams about Indonesia, and I was like, okay, hold on, somebody, hold on 1 second, guys. Yes, and so every night I said, all right. I didn't know how I was gonna get there, guys, because I had never been to Indonesia ever in my life, and this was about 8 years ago. I had never been, and so I just kept saying that, and I said, all right, provide the way for me to go. I said, God, if you provide the way for me to go to Indonesia, I'm gonna go. And like that was it, because at the time I was just I was just laid off of my job, and I was just trying to figure out how to make ends meet. And I kid you not, someone reached out to me and said, "Hey, my mom is moving. Can you help her clean up her house?" And I was like, "Can I help her clean up her house?" And my bougie ass was like, "I have 2 master's degrees. I got this. Or why would I help somebody clean up their house?" And I literally heard the voice of Spirit say, "Go." And I said, "Okay." One thing I've always been is obedient to Spirit. And so I said, "All right." And I got up and I went and helped her clean her house. When I went to help her clean her house, she had one room that was filled with a whole bunch of boxes. She said, "Hey, can you throw everything out in this room? I don't need it anymore." And I said, "Okay." So I opened up the boxes and I looked at the boxes. There were 40,000 comic books. 40,000 comic books in those boxes. She said she was dating somebody who passed away and he was a comic book collector and she didn't want anything to do with them. So I asked her, I said, "Can I have them?" She said, "Sure. I don't want them. You just throw them out. You can keep them, whatever." I took those comic books. I went and got a storage place. I stored them comic books. I sold them comic books and made a couple $1,000. And I went to Indonesia and found my teacher. This is hand of God. Like, listen, I can't tell you that how I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just didn't, but I trusted. And a large part of the journey is just trusting the voice, the intuitive voice that's speaking to you. Oftentimes we're intuitive for everybody else, but we're not intuitive for ourselves. And that can be challenging. I remember feeling so like hearing the word that how I was going to go to Indonesia and actually going there were 2 separate things because I received messages 24 hours a day. And so it was almost like I didn't believe it. However, I had to learn to trust it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And oftentimes it happens in a way in which you just never think is going to happen. Like, it never happens how you think it's going to happen. Please believe me when I say that. It doesn't happen that way. And so for anyone, someone has mentioned a comment that how they feel that they're being called. Somebody said, do you feel you have to be initiated into ATR the further your spiritual journey? No, I don't believe that. I am not initiated into any practice. These practices, as beautiful as they are, as I tell you, I come from a voodoo tradition. I come from a voodoo background, so I'm automatically initiated. But even before all this, I was still operating in my gifts before any initiation or anything like that. No, I do not believe you have to be initiated. I think if you want community, if you want to be among like-minded people in your group, if you want that, then yes. However, I do believe you can practice your spirituality in your way, doing your thing without being initiated into practice, into any of these practices. These practices were made here on earth. You and Spirit already have a direct connection. You just have to open up the lines of communication. Speak to Spirit. Tell Spirit everything you're experiencing. Listen, I don't just go and ask Spirit for stuff. I tell Spirit about all this time I'm disappointed. Spirit, you said that I was going to do this, and this. It didn't happen. What happened? Like literally, I express all the parts of me. Spirit knows all the parts of me, good, bad, or indifferent. Because that is what Spirit wants. That's what your ancestors want. Your ancestors want you to communicate with them. Have a beautiful, direct relationship with them. And the thing is, those relationships exist outside of any of these practices and traditions. Don't believe me. These traditions are beautiful. They're beautiful. I think voodoo, Ifa, all that, they're beautiful in their own right. However, you are still a spiritual being, and you will always be a spiritual being in or outside of any of these practices. Okay. Ooh, okay. Someone said they got chills down their spine. Good. Okay, someone said that I need a teacher immediately. All right. I do a shamanism apprenticeship. This is a 1-year apprenticeship in which I support people who feel that they're being called to be a shaman, and actually tapping into their gift, learning how to heal themselves, learning how to heal other people. This is an intimate relationship in which we're building, because what happens is that is that I'm going to have the eyes to see you and see through all your shit, see through all your limits, see through all your things. And that's beautiful. That's the kind of relationship you want with your teacher. You don't just want a teacher that's just going to spit a whole bunch of information about you, but somebody who's going to be hands-on with you and train you and see you. And so the last person I trained a few months ago, she graduated a few months ago, and so she's going on to open up her own practice in New York, and is doing healing session, is doing plant medicine, is doing things that I didn't even do. I do not administer plant medicine or whatever. I don't because for me, with my call, it was just to teach. It was just to teach shamans, help them to awaken that part of them. But for some people, they'll actually go through the whole training and want to do the plant medicine. Great, that's fantastic. Everybody has a different call, and so once you're able to identify what it is you feel called to, you have a clear picture. But the thing is, you have to start training first, because I didn't know that I was just called to teach. I thought I was going to do everything. I thought I was going to be training, doing plant medicine, doing everything. But like literally, afterwards, I just felt I don't know. Like after a few plant medicine ceremonies, I literally just heard Spirit said, this is not your call. This is not it. I do plant medicine, but I don't administer it. And so, but the thing is, you have to find out what yours is. Also as a part of the training, as a shaman, I unlock the power in your hands. We all have healing power in our hands. However, if we don't know what that power is, it's hard to learn how to heal yourself, how to heal your family, how to heal your community, and so that's what we call the term healer, energy healer. It's like learning all the shamanic Reiki symbols, the things to heal your different chakras, which are the energy centers in your body. Any sickness or ailments in which you experience, it usually starts in your energy body first. Energy body is like your aura. It's the aura around you. So for example, before you get physically sick in your body, something happened in your aura, right? Which means there was a misalignment in your aura. Either your heart chakra was imbalanced for a long period of time, or your throat chakra was imbalanced for a long period of time. So what happened now? If it's your throat chakra, you'll develop a thyroid condition. If it's your heart chakra, you'll develop chest pains. If it's your root chakra that's been imbalanced for a long time, you'll experience problems with your knees or your feet. Everything is tied to something energetically, but that's why I tell people like once you learn to understand the body, understand the spirit, owning your shaman practice becomes a lot easier. All right, what else? Does it have to be spoken out loud? Does what have to be spoken out loud? Can you clarify that for me, please? No problem. Hey, I thank you that my energy resonates with you. I always say, my energy is like, anyone who's attracted to my energy is because a part of me is already living in you. That's it. A part of me is already living in you. I am no one. Well, I'm special to me because, listen, okay? But it's because a part of me is already living in you, and so that goes for anyone and anything, even with celebrities. If there's any celebrity that you like, that you love them or whatever, it's because a part of them is already living in you. And so it doesn't mean that this person is this super duper awesome person. No, it's because there's a part of you that is similar to this person that wants to awaken. All right, let me see. This is so good. Oh, thank you. I have no choice but to be genuine and honest, because the moment I tell a lie, you gonna know. You gonna know. There's nothing about me that's like ingenuine. Because listen, I feel like I've lived too long. I've seen too much to not live in my truth anymore. Seriously. Okay, someone said that the trainings are too expensive. I have 5 children, sis. I always tell people, listen, it's an energetic investment, and so whatever you have to do, they're actually payment plans. There's stuff like that we can discuss, but like But yeah, this is something that's going to propel your entire life. When I bought that one-way ticket to Bali and moved there, this is to tell you how committed I was to growing myself. I moved there 10,000 miles away from my family, 10,000 miles away from my home, 10,000 miles away from anyone I knew, and I was scared out of my fucking mind just because I had a dream that Spirit told me to go. Could you imagine? And so I had to remove those limits. And so anytime anybody tells me about money, it's never about money. It's about the limits, those limits in which are keeping you in the same cycle. Seriously, I literally had to just say, hey, I'm going to take all the limits off and like jump out of my comfort zone and do this. And I'm so grateful I did, because the life I've had since then has been unimaginable. Literally unimaginable. I travel. I live a life where I literally could do what the fuck I want to do. I don't answer to anyone. So anybody says, oh, I don't like what you're saying to me, I'm gonna get you fired. Fuck you. Get me fired. Who's gonna fire me? God. Like I can be this authentic because I live my life in truth. I work for myself. I do the things in which I do from my heart space. Anyone who's ever worked with me, they'll tell you, man, she loves you like no other, because that same love I wish I had growing up is the love in which I continue to like actually give out to the world, because we need it really bad. Let me see. Do you have to speak out to your ancestors, or you can use your mind voice? Okay, that's up to you. I encourage you to speak out, because your throat is a portal, and your throat, you speaking out anything in which you actually speak out into the world, it kind of, that vibration is an energy vibration that comes back to you. And so I encourage you to speak out to your ancestors. If you really want to do ancestor work, get a white candle. Get a white candle and light that candle. If you are looking for your teacher, if you are looking to like pay for a training or anything like that, you want your ancestors to support you, get a white candle. I typically never share rituals, but I'm gonna share this one today. With this, with the white candle, pray over the candle, and then speak your intention into the candle like this before you light it. But it has to be a 7-day candle. Do I have any here? I don't think I have a white one here. But everyone knows the white 7-day candle. That's what it's called. Anytime you're communicating with your ancestors, it is best to have a white candle. Granted, you can speak out to them, but with the white candle, it's almost like they're like light to actually come and find you. So and so once you have the white candle, you write your intentions on a sheet of paper and fold it up and place it under the candle, and you light that candle. After you speak your intentions into the candle, but you got to be very specific. Say, I'm lighting this candle, ancestors, because I would like your support in doing this one thing. Make sure it's only one thing, because when I initially started doing this work, I mean, I'll be telling them support with everything. I need support in this area. I need support with this. I need support with this. And so what happened is that they will support you with everything. However, it makes them challenging. It makes it challenging for them to keep track of everything. So things are going to come. You're not going to know what exactly came because you gave them so much. So just give them one thing at a time. And so once you light that candle every single day, keep going to that candle and saying thank you for that thing. Saying ancestors, I am looking forward to your support with getting this thing. Thank you. Because what happens is that now is that you've already asked for the thing. So now you have to work on your faith and believe is here. And so do not blow out that candle. If you have a safe space in your house in which you can keep it, let that candle burn for 7 days. 7 days straight until it goes out on its own. And so but if not, if you have to like actually turn off the candle, do it with the candle snuffer, but like don't blow it out, because when you blow it out, you're blowing away your intention. All right. Yes, do it when scared. Whenever you do anything scared, you are like, it's almost like you are testing the spirit, saying, listen, I don't know, but I'm gonna figure it out. And like the spirit is always going to show you. You're welcome, hon. You're very welcome. The spirit is always going to show you like I think I, hold on one second. um with the spirit, it's like spirit loves when you step out on faith. Spirit loves when you just trust. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. It's easy to have faith when things when everything's going well. It's easy. It requires no effort from you to have faith when everything is going well. Faith is tested when things are not going well. Seriously, if any of you guys listen to my podcast or anything, I've had some of the most challenging situations, up until a mother who's with mentally, physically, spiritually abusive, just like seeing my light and my energy and not wanting that to manifest into the life. So I've gone through it all, and so there's no excuse. You really have to just stand in your power and say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I'm ready to make a change. Until you are ready to do that, you'll continue to live the same existence. And if that doesn't scare you, nothing else will. Because you have to do this for you. You don't do this for anyone else, but for you. I used to have dreams of people literally saying, hey, we're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you. And those people are the people who come out to my workshops, who come out to my events. Those were the people who were waiting for me. I'm meeting people now that I saw in my dreams 5-6 years ago. But like, if you never step out, if I never stepped out and say, I'm going to do this against all odds, I would never come across these people. So this shaman path is one in which it's going to test you, it's going to test your faith, it's going to test your resilience, it's going to test you, but it's going to give you a life in which you just never thought of. So I hope this helps somebody. I'm going to post this on my thing so that on YouTube, so that you guys who came in late could actually see it. Anyone else have any questions about being a shaman, identifying their journey, any questions about your spiritual gifts? I am here and ready to answer, because I'm about to hop off in a little bit. For those of you guys who ask questions and actually shared a part of your story and stuff like that, thank you so much. Thank you for being brave enough to do that. Someone said, if you're ever stuck on your journey, does spirit lead you where you need to be? Yes. If you're ever stuck or confused on your journey, spirit will lead you to exactly where you need to be. And it's so beautiful. But the thing is, you also have to be ready to make that next step, because what happens is that if you get stuck and you say, Spirit, I don't know what's happening, I don't know what's going on, it's that third. Like, every time I've said that, something would come out of left field. Like, so for example, the last time I remember saying that, I think it was 2013. And like, I kid you not, someone called me, was like, hey, my mom's boss is looking for a nanny. Can you be her nanny? So at the time I wasn't working, and I was like, what the fuck I'm be her nanny for? Like, the fuck? Like, I ain't nobody's fucking nanny. I love kids, but I don't love everybody's kids. And I had just prayed that prayer the night before, and I just have to humble myself and be like, you know what, Spirit? I'm just gonna go and check it out. And I kid you not, I just did it. I signed up. I became this white woman's nanny who was an amazing woman, but just had her own issues as everybody else. In New York City, and it was a freaking wild ride. It really was, because that taught me that how I was deeply connected to children, and that children love me, and like, it was just a beautiful experience. So if you ask Spirit for direction, Spirit's going to lead you where you need to be. However, it's never going to look like it's never going to look like what you think it's going to look like. So someone asked us my YouTube name. It's the same name as my TikTok name. It's Oracle Mimi. I wanted to be a holistic therapist, and you popped up on my Listen, if you want to be a holistic therapist, you got to follow this Goddess Heals. She's a holistic womb therapist, and she is one of the best people to do it. And she's also my sister. Yes. Okay. I love the confirmation, Gemini. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes. TikTok. I don't know. I feel like TikTok is deeply connected to us as human beings. I don't have the math. I haven't done any research. So don't quote me on this. Because literally, I could have a thought. Never speak the thought. And I jump on TikTok and I scroll, and then somebody is saying exactly the thought I was thinking about. So I don't know, but I do believe in divine just connection and synchronicity. And Spirit will communicate with you using all the tools in which you are at your disposal. So don't think that how Spirit can't use these apps. Spirit can use anything. Spirit knows that we are living in a new age, a new time. Spirit can use anything, TV shows, movies, anything. Before going to Bali, I watched the movie Eat, Pray, Love. And then from then on, Bali was just stuck in my mind. So for me, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I need to book a trip to Thailand. I would hear Bali. Maybe I need to do this. I would hear Bali. And so it's like, Spirit can use anything to communicate with you, but you have to trust that this message is coming and it's for you, and you have to act. You have to act out on that. And so someone said Bali's on my mind. If Bali's on your mind, girl, go. Legit, go. It was on my mind heavy. I'm telling you, could ask any of my family members for a year and a half. I'd be like, Spirit, you said I was gonna go. I don't see how I'm gonna go. I don't have the money. I don't have this. And somebody asked me to help them clean their house. Okay, I am not a cleaner in any way. I don't desire to clean or help anyone clean ever again in my life. But I did it. And I received all the money I needed to make the trip and stay there and move there and find my teachers. Definitely. Beautiful. Hawaii too. Ooh, okay. Hawaii. I haven't been, but I'm definitely going to be going soon. Jamaica Mountains, go. I'm telling you, if Jamaica Mountains are calling you, go. Our ancestors, as people of color, our ancestors came from the continent. They were spread about everywhere, all the lands. If your ancestors are calling you to go to a specific place, it's because your ancestors are calling you there. And when I say calling you there, you don't know whose ancestors are there and waiting for them. In terms of, our people jumped off of the boats, our people jumped off and did crazy things. And so your ancestors, any place you ever feel led in your spirit to go, it's because your ancestors are leading you there. They have something for you there. They have what shamans calls medicine for you there. And in terms of medicine, it can be healing medicine. You can go to this place and find your boo. That's medicine too, if you know what I mean. That's another kind of medicine. But like anywhere in which your ancestors are calling you to go, is because there is medicine there for you. Beautiful. Yes. He said, I'm here to clean somebody's house. Oh my gosh. Yes. Seriously, do not take these calls lightly. If you take anything off this call off this live today, do not take these calls in which you are receiving intuitively, these dreams in which you're having, these ideas, these thoughts. Don't take them lightly. Your ancestors are constantly communicating with you hundreds of times throughout the day. Fuck angel numbers. Fuck any of those things. Those work too, but your ancestors are literally talking to you. And it comes, and it comes as an idea, as a thought. It comes in your dreams. It comes as something which seems so insignificant. And so what happens is that you often dismiss it. And the more you dismiss it, you wind up finding yourself sleeping a lot longer. It's like the time to sleep is done. It's time to wake up. It is time to wake up, because what happens is that we are We are being called to arise so that we can really fully stand in our power. The country is shifting. Everything around us is shifting. The world is shifting. However, you have to be able to connect to yourself before you can help anybody else. All right. I want to say I dreamed a village in Hawaii that I didn't know. Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, man. It's time to go. It's time to go. Yes, 2020 was the awakening. It really was. It really was the awakening. Anyone who experienced the whole COVID and all that stuff that happened, 2020, it started this huge awakening that many people are now feeling the effects from. Seriously. So I thank you all for tuning in. I'm about to hop off. If you have any questions or anything, if you want to know, if you actually want to know more about my Shaman Apprentice program, all the information is in my bio link. And yeah, I look forward to supporting you, and all the best. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care. Take care. I'm sending so much love, and I'm praying that a lot of you, your ancestors, actually connect with you tonight, and just let you know, like this is your time. All the best, guys. Take care.